What up, y'all? This is your man Abuamerican with gracious interest and welcome Alex, new member.
Hello there.
Chain Bros. Bros in the blockchain.
White people can't rap, so no.
What's the guy's name? Ice? No, not Ice Cube. Vanilla Ice. He's so old. But there was this, what's that white guy? The crazy white guy.
Eminem,
yeah. I think he can rap, right? Is he a good rapper?
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a lot of good rappers, I think, that are white. I just think a lot of them are like European. Like there's some good German rappers. At my job, they play like rap. And then it's like you hear some German guy rapping and, I'm like, all right. I'm like, I guess it's good. It's a bit weird hearing a German guy talk about selling cocaine, but you're just like, you're like, really, buddy? You out here really slinging rock in Frankfurt? Okay. All right, man.
One of the things we'll be selling is cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and IC.
Exactly, right? I'm just like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Just talking about our days, man. How you guys' days go? How's your day gone?
Go ahead.
Tripping over my tongue. It's been good, huh?
Yeah, work as always. Every day it's work.
You went muffled.
Yeah.
Do you hear me okay now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or should I have, because I have headsets if I want to.
No. Now you're clear. But for a second there, you're like crazy muffled.
Yeah, I'm working every day. Every day is work day.
Oh man, this must be beautiful. Hey, let me just say this real quick. This is for me. If you haven't done this already, go over there and put a like on this tweet right there for me. People, do me a favor and put a like on that tweet. It's going to get me like a LBC miner. And as you guys know, I am a miner. I mine multiple coins and whatnot. It will help a guy out. The miners, man, ain't cheap. I mean, okay, those aren't so bad. I mean, the LBC miner's probably going to go for around $300, probably. I'm guessing. It's not out yet. They're limited edition, and they're not even talking about like manufacturing them yet. So this is like we're getting prototypes here. So help a guy get a prototype miner that mines LBC, guys. And I use LBC. If you don't follow, I think we're all actually, you don't have a YouTube channel, do you, Alex?
We have one for blockchain creators, but no, otherwise no.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think all of us otherwise are on a library where the LBC coin is basically mined on that blockchain. Go over there and give us a follow there also. What's up, Brotherhood Grind? So today we want to talk about, what was it, man? I think, Alex, you could be leading this one, man. We're talking about freelancing and crypto.
Freelancing with crypto and just the basics of transacting crypto, getting paid in crypto, that kind of stuff. It's, well, let's jump into it, right?
Let's do it. I ain't got this one. I'm still learning, bro. So
yeah, so a big issue with freelancing worldwide, like I do, you got to get paid somehow. You got to send that money somehow. And so you're either going to use PayPal, Stripe, or some sort of bank. And when you do random payments, like I get the random payment from Germany, then I get one from the UK. It's also inconsistent. We all know freelancing can be very inconsistent. You might get paid 5,000 in a month, then 500 the next month. And banks tend to get, finicky about these type of things because they're going to think that there might be some fraud involved or who knows what, and they might lock your funds for whatever reason. PayPal is known to do this a lot. It's happened to me, happened to a bunch of people. And so you got to fix that somehow. Best thing that I found, Bitcoin, crypto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the way it's made, it's decentralized. Everybody that follows this show probably knows, right? But you just send your money. Nobody asks any questions about it. Nobody can lock it. Nobody can block it. It gets there. You can get paid and you can start working. You start making some money. And so that's the main advantage that cryptocurrency have for freelancers. Obviously with Ethereum, although I don't really know exactly how that works because I've only used Bitcoin up until now. With Ethereum, there's smart contracts, which if Dimitri could pitch in, they act like some form of escrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a lot of advantages. you get more control over your money, and it's just so much better in terms of getting paid as a freelancer. It's just awesome.
Yeah, when it concerns freelancing, especially since you mentioned PayPal, one of the problems with PayPal is starting from a certain barema that you've reached, certain level of payments received, they will start demanding additional confirmations, additional ID verifications. Otherwise, they block your account because they will be thinking, okay, some illegal activity is going on here.
Yep.
We're going to block everything. And I've heard it before from a variety of groups I'm also in when it concerns freelancing. Where I heard, one time, 1 month, I made $5,000, and suddenly my account got frozen, couldn't reach anything, no payout, no nothing. By reason, PayPal simply blocked it and said, we need some additional verification. Where does the money come from? How did you receive it, etc., etc., etc. Now,
Yep.
I mainly walk through Gumroad. They tend to be verified with PayPal, so I really haven't had such a block yet. It's one of the main reasons I tend to stuck with PayPal, and also now on your platform, Alex. In order to be paid in Bitcoin, I suggest checking that one out from Alex. It's called Blockchain Creators. By reason, there's no blocking limit on it, like PayPal and the others can possibly do. By reason, PayPal, in order to be legally correct, they need to be verified by a variety of banks and allow transfers, withdrawals, deposits, and the banks can actually put a stop on the entire transaction, which is a little bit limiting for people who are into freelance, who are, offering a variety of services on the internet, ranging from web design, doing translations, copywriting, etc., etc. And that's something actually Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency can easily solve, by reason that transactions are one-to-one direct. Transfers and transactions are available on the blockchain and can immediately be checked up. So there isn't really any need for a third-party platform to say, "Oh yeah, you're earning too much, block." Between two
It's not going to
persons.
happen.
Yeah, before I get into Abu Trunk's comment, this is the beauty of blockchain technology in general. But we'll just say, as a representative of blockchain technology, we'll say Bitcoin. That's permissionless. You don't need anybody's permission how you spend your money, where it comes from, where it's going to, all this type of stuff. It's your money. You have access to it. You have the keys. It's your money. You don't need anyone's permission to transfer it. I talked about this when I was building my crypto miners. One of my miners, I had to get money from somebody. They sent it to me, because I got money all over the world. They sent it to me, and when I went to pick up the money, because it was a large sum of money, at Western Union, they're like, "Where'd this money come from? Who sent it?
Yep.
What's their job?" All the type of stuff. I'm like, "Hey, man, this ain't your business, really. That's like pretty private and personal information." And I'm not sure that the sender would appreciate me spreading their information like this, But I just gave them, some bogus information, which they couldn't verify, And so the point is, had I said something that displeased them in any way, shape, or form, they could just block my money. They could prevent me from, getting my money. And with cryptocurrency, it is exactly what it is, permissionless, and you can get it, send it, use it as you wish. As for Abu Future Trunks, your question says, can you pay companies, other altcoins if you want to purchase something, or is it most companies just restricting it to BTC? Do you use other altcoins being adopted? Most companies in the crypto world, in terms of when I say crypto world, I'm talking about mining. A lot of them only take cryptocurrency as a form of payment, and they take primarily 4 different cryptocurrencies. They take Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then a stable coin, UDTC. That's usually the 4 they take. And they won't take anything else. They're not going to take your Cadena or some, odd off the wall coin that you have, your chain link. They're not taking all that stuff. Maybe if they get higher up on the list and they become more, the top 10 or something, they'll probably consider it. But really, even with the top 10, you find most companies are only accepting those 4 coins. That's general. But anything can be arranged. It just depends on the individual who's running their sales site as to whether or not they're going to accept that cryptocurrency. And if they can find, some way, like some sort of smart contract or some sort of program to mesh together with their site to complete transactions. like, I don't know, Alex, maybe you can talk about that, but like when I purchase cryptocurrency, when I purchase crypto miners, aka ASICs miners, they automatically have their site linked into the blockchain. So when that transaction comes through, they give me an address to send to, because you can get dynamic wallet addresses, and then so a dynamic wallet address is created, and then what happens is when I send to that, they can register on the blockchain when a payment and how much the payment has been sent to that wallet. So
that's actually exactly what we do at blockchaincreators.com. And obviously anybody can do this on their own websites, but you got to have someone do it, someone actually build the whole code and infrastructure and whatnot. So in the case of digital products, usually, because this was what I was actually going to say, as a freelancer, when you're charging $1,000 or $2,000 for a product, you're actually better off with the fees, because PayPal takes 3% of the whole sum, whereas if you pay with Bitcoin, you pay like $10 for a transaction and that's it, right? So it's actually cheaper to send with Bitcoin if we're talking about bigger sums. But if we're talking about smaller sums like digital product, obviously you might end up paying $10 transaction fee to buy a $10 book. That can become problematic. But back to what you were saying, yeah, there's, for example, we at Blockchain Creators, we use Blockonomics. I'm gonna write it down here. Blockonomics is actually Dimitri suggested it to me a month and a half ago when I first started building Blockchain Creators. Basically, it's a payment processor like Stripe, but for Bitcoin. It doesn't hold your money, it doesn't manage your money. They just track transactions on the blockchain. So you're still decentralized. You still have power over your own money. And the only thing is, obviously, again, you have to have someone actually set up the whole blockonomics integration with, actually code all that stuff and that kind of stuff. Now, if you're freelancing, obviously you're making $1,000 to $3,000, maybe even more per project. You can afford to pay a web developer or somebody like that to code that integration for you on your own website. But usually, if you're selling digital products, I'd say if you're not making like $5,000-$10,000 a month, it's probably not worth it to pay someone to make that integration on your website. It's probably worth it to just use a pre-made service like we have Blockchain Creators. Like there's Gumroad, right? You don't just make your own payment processor. You use Gumroad because it's easier, right? The same thing with Blockchain Creators. Obviously, when you get super big, it might make sense to have your own payment processor. Like, for example, I'm imagining if there's somebody out there that makes $100,000 a month selling digital products, Gumroad takes 3% of that. It might make sense to have your own self-hosted in-house solution, right?
That's true. That's true. It's one of the reasons why your platform, I immediately jumped onto it, especially when you actually reached out to me on Telegram. You said, yeah, I'm building the platform. Are you interested? Because I saw a lot of potential for it future-wise. If we just take a look at something like Gumroad currently, they've grown tremendously in the last year. Just by reason, a lot of people jumped on it and gave them a means to earn online money. So being able to do so with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, that's actually a very solid move. It was something I, to be honest, about was researching and trying to look up if such a platform existed. And if I'm not mistaken, you might be the very first.
We are the first guys to do it. We are the first guys to do it. Yeah.
So,
we are going to be very good friends there.
I think there is a platform for Bitcoin for freelancing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure though, but for digital products, we are the first. I know a guy that is right now in the process of building OnlyFans with Bitcoin. So, I mean, for me, I can't do that, obviously, as I would be involved in something haram. But for him, go ahead.
That guy is going to be the stage.
This is what I tell.
Yeah, sorry, from Icky here. So, he's asking me, what would you have advised if I have Ethereum? Shall I change to Aave or keep it? And then you ask another question right behind that. You say, just saw Filecoin is tripled in this month. I mean, Ethereum, I think you should hold. I think you should hodl Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm not a fan of the Ethereum devs, but that doesn't mean that the coin doesn't have something going on. What we're going to see here in July, I think personally, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but go with my logic here. In July 1559, EIP 1559 is going to be executed. And with that, there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, and people are really going to start jumping on and jumping in. And I think we're going to see like a huge price spike, not just a small one, but a huge one. At one point, like just 2 months ago, Ethereum, and I mine Ethereum at a pretty significant rate, was my smallest bag that I held. I took all my Ethereum, I bought a bunch of different coins, I traded those coins around and whatever else. But now Ethereum is again my largest bag because I have, from my perspective, what I see coming with EIP 1559 in the short term, that it's going to make a pretty huge spike and a pretty huge jump. And now as to whether or not that's going to last is another question, because when people realize that their transaction fees and whatnot are not lowering, they're not going down, and not much has changed other than they're burning, Ethereum, we'll see how long people's happiness sticks around. As for like Filecoin and all this type of other stuff, if you're going to trade, then I suggest you learn how to trade. If you're looking for like these quick jumps and whatever else, then figure out, don't stick with those things, trade them. Then when you make that big triple win, put it in something like Bitcoin, put it in something like Ethereum, put it in something like DOT, but I wouldn't, I'm not like much of a trader. I'm learning it right now, but it's not something that I am overly familiar with. But I have been trading. When ENJ started coming up, I bought bucket loads of ENJ with my Ethereum. When ENJ jumped up like, I don't know, it was like almost 40 cents, I just traded it out. I did the same thing with BAT, basic attention token. Same thing with ENJ. When it started climbing, I jumped out. Once it hit its like peak and I saw it starting to come back down because I don't use bots, I jumped out and I put it back into Bitcoin, that win, or I put it into Ethereum. So that's what I suggest. Denmark Vesey asked, sorry guys, I know we're on a different topic, but we want to try and help guys with the questions also. Any guidance on Cardano and ADA? This spring, Cardano is supposed to be bringing smart contracts to the platform. I think it's worth watching.
Just as a few additional ones, you mentioned something about the EIP 1559 launch in July. I heard rumors Ethereum might be planning to release it later on, so later than July. I was quickly researching it, but couldn't find a decent article, but it might be the case if you look deeper into it, that they are already planning in hushed voices to, put it a little bit on the log.
Well, that's why I don't like the Ethereum devs also. I'm sorry, guys. I know we're on a tangent here, but the Ethereum devs, basically everything they say you can multiply times 3. That's why with ETH 2.0, when they said they wanted to maybe execute ETH 2.0 this year, it's literally technically impossible to execute this year because the infrastructure isn't even in place until at least October. Well, how are you going to launch from October to December? Something when you don't even have the infrastructure set up until October. Software testing, all this stuff. You think you're just going to set up like a bunch of infrastructure and launch immediately? No, there's going to be testnet, all this type of other stuff that has to go on. It's going to take months. So everything that the ETH devs say, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Also, additionally, you were entirely correct when it concerns the comparison between WAVE and Ethereum. It's best to keep up Ethereum. They are still the platform with the most builds, so it will not go away as quickly as possible or lose its position quite as fast. But future-wise, and I'm really talking within a time span of 5 to 10 years, they tend to lose their second chance. And to immediately jump on Denmark Vesey here, Cardano is an example of being an Ethereum clone, but one clone which is actually, everything that Ethereum should have been. So yeah, that's a little bit of my guidance when it concerns Cardano. Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna get back on topic, but all these coins and whatnot, like, if you got to get a deep dive on it, I suggest you go over to Cultivate Crypto. Thank you, and check those guys out. They can help you with deep dives on coins and whatnot. All I can do is look it up right here. VeChain, all this stuff. VeChain is in a very good position. As of this year, as in its 12 months performance, it's gone up almost 3,000%. That's pretty impressive. It's in the positive right now. I mean, bro, if you're a trader, man, trade, bro. Do your thing. But I can't give you a deep dive on the coin and give you like extra information. That's something for Cultivate Crypto. Let's get back to the topic.
Yeah. Freelancing crypto.
In terms of payment and getting paid and all this type of stuff, how easy is it for a guy to cash out? We got a content creator. He's been doing well on Gumroad. What's his incentive to switch to crypto? He's like, everything's going good. Why should I switch to crypto?
Decentralization, inflation. These are two big ones. I mean, we talked last time I was on your channel. We talked about inflation. We looked at those charts. I actually checked the guy that builds that website. He has it. It's down right now. It's I don't know what's happening, but look, if you keep your money in cash, it's gonna go down in value because of inflation. That we all know that.
Absolutely.
So if you keep it in crypto, that's not going to happen. And it's a good way to basically store your value. If you want to invest in something else, that's great. But meanwhile, while you're trying to figure out what to invest in, obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're two great options to just keep it's like a savings account, right? Like a savings account, only it's a good one.
Yeah, one that pays you a lot more money than you put in.
Yep. And just the decentralization aspect is again a huge thing. Nobody can lock your money. Look, an example I like to give my local friends, because on Twitter everybody's into crypto. Everybody that I know on Twitter is into crypto, but in real life I have friends that ask me, why should I get into crypto? And I tell them, look, first off, we're in Romania, right? Remember back in 1945, 1950 when communism came and they took people's money and they took people's land? And just like that, and it was legal and it was fine and nobody said nothing. Well, that can happen again. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, look at COVID. You're wearing a mask. You're in the house at 10 p.m., forced to be in the house. I mean, all these things happen. Why? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it can happen where they just block your money and say, look, we don't like you. We're going to take your house.
Yep.
Done. But can they take your Bitcoin?
Nope.
No, they can't.
They can try.
They are trying, but they can't. That's
we saw that with that scammer. Remember that guy they said was a scammer? That was like one of the earlier shows. It's like protecting your keys. And the guy basically scammed people out of Bitcoin somehow. That's what they said. That was the charge they laid against them. And they couldn't get the money. It was like several million, if not, I think it was probably like just over 100 million. And they couldn't get it from him because they didn't have his keys and he wasn't giving his keys up. So yeah, it's your money.
Basically,
government put him in jail.
Basically, unless they're going to torture you or something, they're not going to get the money.
Nope.
And
if
even
they torture you, then you have no incentive to give them the money. Let me just say that, guys. If you ever get tortured, it's like, don't give them what they want because they're torturing you.
And torture is still illegal. But the keys, the seed phrase, that's the real access point. And even though some not so smart guys, I'm trying to keep up with the language here, might try to persuade you and say, we want your key, we want your key. Yeah, I don't know it by heart, so what the hell are you asking me? It's 12 word phrase or 24 word phrase, so I don't know it by heart. It's stored somewhere safe. Where is it stored? I forgot it. I gave it to my girlfriend, and
it's in my wallet. And I lost that wallet in a boating accident. That's what you're telling me.
I wrote it on a piece of paper, and you burnt the house down. Sorry, guys. Oh, what a shame.
So let me go on and ask a few more questions then. So a guy, he finally decides, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my business, in cryptocurrency. But we know a lot of these guys, these content creators, they're living off of their income. So now he's in a situation where he has an appreciating asset, aka his Bitcoin instead of a depreciating one. Now he wants to sit on top of it. How does he survive? You see what I'm saying? So we got two questions here. Now he's thinking, okay, that wash machine's going crazy over there. I think I'm going to need to balance that thing. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, a bit, just a bit.
Like taking stuff falling off the top of it. I'm like, whoa. So he's taking his appreciating asset now and he's trading it into a depreciating one so that he can live. And preferably, I mean, like right now I'm on both platforms, but most of my business, of course, comes through Gumroad. And so I take my Gumroad payday that just comes in. I don't live from anything, and I turn it into crypto. I turn it into maybe Polkadot, Kusama, this, that, the other. Now we got a guy who's just living from this.
Mm-hmm.
Two questions. One, how easy is it for him to turn his BTC into cash so that he can pay his rent? And two, he wants his money to appreciate. So now we've got a second problem here to where it's like he's taking his appreciating asset and turning it into a negative one. Again, it comes back down to, should I really do this?
Well, number two, first off, if you're getting paid directly in fiat, then you start off with a depreciating asset and you're there. But if you're getting paid in Bitcoin or crypto, you're getting paid in a non-depreciating asset, and then you can choose to turn it into a depreciating asset if you want. So I don't really see that as an issue. It's really up to him to turn it into the fiat or not. At least now he has the option. It's much easier to sell the Bitcoin into cash, I would say, than to get the cash into Bitcoin or other crypto. As for the what was the first question again?
Yeah.
How does he convert his money? Is it easy for him to convert his money so he can survive?
Yeah. So for me, it's very easy. I just have to drive to the next town over. I go to a Bitcoin ATM, put my numbers in, get the cash out, and I'm gone. Now, if you don't have Bitcoin ATM machines available, then obviously you're going to have to use one of the exchanges that are out there to send Bitcoin to the exchange and send cash to your bank account. In my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose because I still have to have a bank account. I still have to work with a central institution. That's my opinion. So if you have the possibility to use a Bitcoin ATM, that's what I would go for. That's what I always go for because it's anonymous, it's decentralized. Nobody knows how much money I got out of there, and it's just I think it's better. But obviously, there are exchanges too. You can use those. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Well, there's also a third option, which is the crypto.com or a Binance Visa card, which exists also. It's really some kind of prepaid card. You load it up with Bitcoin and can go to any shop and pay with it. The card itself will lock a transaction on third-party platform who will do the automatic exchange towards fiat currency. The card.
Binance card. I prefer Binance over crypto.com, to be honest. I prefer Binance. Binance, if they trade that crypto, you can use it on that card.
Yeah, so it's a third option and quite easy to use. With that, you've got non-depreciating assets still at hand, and you can make immediate payments. So there's less risk of passing through an exchange. We will take another fee, administrational fee, to put it on your bank account, etc., etc. With that, it happens immediately, and the costs of transferring Bitcoin towards fiat money is much less and more direct.
So I'm assuming though, if one registers for Binance or for crypto, you would have to put in a bank account, maybe an ID, certainly.
An ID, but you don't have to put a bank account in unless you plan on purchasing cryptocurrency with your bank account. Like if you're going to do, it's called Lastschrift in Germany, or Support Pay, or some of these other means, like transfer, then you will put your bank account there. But you can pay directly with a credit card. You can, that's generally how I do a credit card. They have multiple. Hold on, let me just take a look instead of guessing here, because I only use. So there's bank deposit, credit card, peer-to-peer, cash balance, third-party payment. And they have providers who can help you with that.
Yeah, you can lock your PayPal with Binance if needed to be.
Oh, you can? I didn't
So,
know that.
Yeah, I
so,
don't know.
so it seems it's not very hard to spend your crypto.
No. Everybody's making it easy for you to spend your crypto because everybody wants it.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing is, when trading and freelancing, it's always better to get paid in crypto. By reason, well, it's a raising asset. Its value is going up.
Yeah, it's an
So if
appreciation.
you say, well,
Currently.
look, my course, for example, costs 25 euros in Bitcoin. Yeah, well, okay, I earn it, but within next year, that same amount of Bitcoin probably will be worth much more. So
Definitely.
it's a good thing. It's heaven for freelancers. And on my Twitter account, it's even a case I made and have been pushing for quite some time, even where I kept on saying, and I'm going to repeat it again: freelancing in combination with crypto is a real big ticket towards, well, financial freedom. By reason you are working with a raising asset, a raising currency in value. With freelancing, you're using your own skills to make money online. You're trying to get out of a 9 to 5 situation now. Despite all gurus on Twitter, etc., and I know plenty of them because I see them passing by my Twitter feed, as most of you guys probably also do. Well, they say, yeah, and I'm free now, etc., etc. Believe me, I can see when they are standing behind before a rented car, and I know they are still working their 9 to 5. Most of their tweets are a little bit of a giveaway when it concerns the attitude, but yeah, they are still working with fiat currency. If you do so with cryptocurrency, most will say, yeah, no, but I can buy stuff with it. You can. It's only,
You can.
well, it only shows you lack the knowledge on how to do the immediate transfers. And many solid guys who have managed to dump their 9 to 5 and have their freelancing on 24/7, well, those guys are all into cryptocurrency. Those are the guys who are solid and know what the hell they are doing. By reason, well, they make sure they have the option to be paid in cryptocurrency because they have the knowledge and know what it will bring future-wise. So yeah, it's one of the most solid moves someone can make. And for all beginning freelancers, I dare even say, open up a wallet, find the means to be paid in cryptocurrency, or have the means to automatically exchange your
There are
fiat money towards crypto.
there are
Uh,
even, like, for people that maybe are not freelancers, there are actually job boards where you can get jobs that expressly advertise that they pay the salaries in Bitcoin and other crypto. There are such websites. I found some of them. I don't remember the exact names right now, but if somebody wants to have a job and get paid in crypto, some companies might accommodate that.
The state of
And
Florida actually said they were considering it.
it's why not? I mean, and going back to, because you asked me like maybe 10, 20 minutes ago, Abu, why would somebody that uses Gumroad move to blockchain creators? The thing is that you don't have to actually move entirely. Because, for example, me, whereas I try to do all my work in crypto, obviously some clients don't want to pay in crypto for whatever reason of their own. Okay, I still have PayPal. You can pay me there, but I'm gonna try to push you to pay me with Bitcoin. And the same thing goes with digital creators. Yeah, have both. Have Gumroad and blockchain creators. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm asking rhetorical questions for the crowd so they can figure it out.
Yeah, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you really look at the smart people who are rich, what are they doing? I mean, everybody said Elon Musk is now selling Teslas, in Bitcoin, or is he buying Bitcoin with Teslas? We don't know, but we know that it's now a business model, and it's a viable one, and it makes sense. So big business is doing it. They're going to move into it. When Elon makes a move like this, a lot of people make a move with him. And so I think we're going to see more high ticket items, because obviously because of transaction fees and whatnot, it's never going to make sense to go take your crypto card and pay on the tap pay machine for a pack of chewing gum. It's just not, it's not practical. But for high ticket items, houses, cars, boats, whatever else, things that have a very high value and worth, it's definitely worth looking into. And definitely, if you're a content creator or looking at purchasing like a high ticket item, and you've put in like a certain amount of money, let's say like, I don't know, 20,000, and then you've appreciated up to 15, to buy something, then you just basically got a 30,000 discount on an item, you know what I mean, to actually consider, purchasing with your cryptocurrency from those companies that accept it, if you're not a full-time hodler. So
yeah, there's also an other additional advantage to be paid in cryptocurrency when freelancing. All you American citizens, and even most in Europe, will be aware of taxes, man's best friend. Well well, mostly you will have to pay taxes, starting, especially here in Belgium, from a certain level of earnings you made. Doesn't matter, online, somewhere physical that you do as a side job, etc., etc. Starting from a certain level, government will get involved and will try to get a percentage of the money you've made. Now, however, with cryptocurrency, things change. By law, they still see cryptocurrency as a digital product, which means they cannot leverage taxes on it unless sold. And that's one of the reasons why I tend to tell to people, okay, get paid in cryptocurrency, but do not sell the cryptocurrency no matter how the markets evolve. By reason, it is valid money, so they can tax it and you can keep all gains. By reason, they think, he's being paid in a digital product, but we can't reach it by reason of our own laws. And that's what most current regulations in Europe, in the US, and in any other nation really is about. They are trying to implement a non-realized gains tax, which implies if you're going to put money in an exchange like Coinbase, Kraken, etc., they know they sell cryptocurrency, but based on the amount of money you are putting into it, they want to start taxing it based on the amount of cryptocurrency you are willing to buy. And that's the kind of regulation they want to push through. The sad part is they cannot predict how the markets will evolve, so it becomes a veritable complex structure to calculate taxes on. So it's not something they will implement immediately, so it gives people like us, some leverage and to keep our valid earnings, I'm going to say, without having to pay up. Here in Belgium, I believe if you earn more than 5,000 euros a year additionally as freelancer, government might take 30% of all profits made. So
30%.
That's a lot. Germany is like the United States, that there are no capital gains taxes and earnings on cryptocurrency would be capital gains. Now, there's a caveat here. As long as you hold those cryptocurrencies for 12 months, then there's no capital gains tax. So in the United States, Germany are similar in this. If you hold on, so let's say you bought Bitcoin at 10,000, it went up to 50, so that 40,000, there's no tax on that as long as you hold that for a 12-month period. But if you want to spend it before then, in Germany it's roughly 25%, roughly. In the United States, I'm not really sure. They're very anally retentive in the United States, to the point that they will want to know the transaction date and time so that they can calculate the taxes for every transaction that you made, for each transaction. So let's say if you bought like the cryptocurrency and you bought an entire Bitcoin over 5 stages in a 12-month period. And before that 12-month period is over, you want to trade that cryptocurrency into fiat currency and buy like a boat or something. They're going to want to know what day and time you bought that cryptocurrency over those 5 different transactions so that they can calculate the taxes individually on the wins for each one of those 5 transactions. So imagine if you're like a trader, what sort of nightmare that is. Traders, especially if you're using a bot that trades on microseconds. Beep, 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 you're done.
That same rule of 12 months also accounts in Belgium, but
I think it's generally,
if you bought it in or got freelanced or freelancing and you invested it immediately, if it surpasses the 5,000 tax guy, gets involved, yeah, it is going to be 30% that they will take away from the profit. So yeah, I'm very eager to put everything immediately in a third-party platform when it concerns fiat currency, so the normal euros I use. So my banks do not know I have earned it, and I immediately transfer it through Binance. That's why I knew you can lock PayPal as a third-party platform on Binance to exchange immediately for cryptocurrency. It's one of the reasons why I use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that thing quickly figured out because I know our government. We might take several years to form a government. The law enforcement is meh, but when it concerns taxes and getting money from its people, they are quite fast. So you need to be a little bit faster than them and slightly more smarter, which I luckily am.
I say it in Germany. Two things about Germany: don't mess with the taxes and don't mess with the environment. Boy, they will eat your lunch. You can do the craziest things in Germany, but if you play around with taxes and the environment, and they're gonna kill you, man. Not kill you, but you know what I'm saying.
The environment.
Yeah.
Finish him. This is not gonna be. So we covered the basics. What's it take to get on your platform, Alex?
What?
I want to. We're going to talk about your platform. So, guys, the content creator, who wants to get on your platform, what does he got to do?
Comes in, puts his email in, his username of choice. If he comes from Gumroad, it's actually very easy because now we have a 2-click import setup where you can import all your products in 2 clicks. You cannot import physical products or memberships or things like that because we don't yet have that functionality. We're going to build it over the next year. But if you got just a normal ebook or something, yeah, you can import in 2 clicks and that's it. In 5 minutes, you're done. Once that's done, you put in your BTC address so that you can get paid. You get your links from your products. You promote them on Twitter or YouTube or wherever you promote them. And, you have a balance just like on Gumroad. You get paid twice a month, just like on Gumroad. And that's it. We take a 6% for arranging the whole thing. We haven't implemented this yet, but we're looking to have a tiered commission so that if you are a really high volume seller on blockchain creators, you're going to have 5% or 4% or less than the 6% as the default. And that's it. Really, it's not very complex. It's very, very easy. We even have a video explainer on our YouTube channel. Let me just link to it in here. But yeah, it's very, very simple. It's as simple as Gumroad.
True. On the platform, it is even more easy when it comes down to it. I know I'm a little bit doing marketing here for you, but yeah, from what I can, from experience, it's even easier to use.
There's a question. He says, so gracious interest, what if I make a profit in an investment and sell it? Do I need to pay taxes for that or after I deposit it into my bank account?
Well, all depends on the payment method. If the payment method is through a transaction immediately towards your bank account, yeah. As long as it is being kept under a certain number, so here in Belgium it was about 5,000 euros. I believe in Germany it might be something akin to it, because if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere in a European law, European norm being used. So if it's kept under a certain amount, well, government will not be involved by reason they will say, yeah, okay, it's too small to really leverage taxes on. But as soon as it exceeds that number and you sell it within the year of purchase, well, taxes get involved. And depending on which good you've sold, or depending on which level product, etc., that is being sold, well, taxes will vary. So yeah, for someone like me doing freelancing, I do everything legally on the blockchain. So really everything is peer-to-peer, so in person to person. Compare it like if you sell a good or service and you get paid in cash. By reason that transaction from person to person is nowhere going to be registered by anyone, by any bank. which implies that it's a direct agreement between people, between men or men and women. So yeah, that's something government will not get involved in because, well, it didn't really occur. Now, if it exceeds a certain amount, people might start to wonder from, yeah, where did he suddenly buy that car from? You see, you have to be a little bit cautious and do the
Come to
spending.
Romania, nobody asks anything. You can buy $100,000 worth of cars. Nobody cares.
Yeah, they are a little bit, to put it in a nice word, anal retentive. I'll let you guys look it up in the dictionary. I'm pretty sure you guys can find a decent synonym for it. But yeah, it really depends on the amount of money and how well you spend it over time. Me, well, I prefer to put it on a third-party platform where I know the banks cannot verify it. At this current time, it's only PayPal, but I immediately use it to do other expenses so that they do not immediately have, how to say, have to raise doubts and not the amount being stored there is being pushed down low enough.
Abdul Razak, yes, I have a small farm and get 500 a month in Belgium. Should I pay tax? We are not tax advisors. We cannot give you tax advice on individuals. I mean, that was actually pretty deep dive right there on the last one. And I mean, so really, we can't advise you on tax issues. I advise that you contact a tax advisor, and have them advise you on your situation, so that you make sure you stay within the bounds of the law. If you are not a gangster and a G or whatever you want to call it, a guy who's like, out there just like, yeah, I ain't paying them taxes, yo, and doing your thing. I advise you tax advisor. I'd say get one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to add on that part, on that question, worldwide, it's a little bit of a gray zone. By reason, cryptocurrencies are something new that governments need to deal with, especially when it concerns miners. There are quite a few articles where government is researching the means to either tax miners or if they should tax it, etc., etc. For reason, it's a very gray zone when it concerns regulation. So they do not really have any idea what to do with it. That's how new it is and how on the forefront everything is when it concerns cryptocurrency. Because we guys might be talking here about blockchain technology and DeFi, so decentralized finance, and NFTs, but to most people on the outside, if I say cryptocurrency, I see people looking away and like, what the hell was that again? And if you say Bitcoin, yeah, I heard about it. So
yeah,
governments try to keep the pulse on, but yeah,
that's what I was going to say, because most people in Romania, they're always thinking of a new way to scheme that the government or a new way to scheme someone. And so everybody that hears me that I do web development thinks, oh, can we hack somebody? And everybody that hears that I get paid in crypto thinks, oh, can we avoid paying taxes or something? And I always tell them, look, think this through, because the blockchain, the actual ledger, it's public. Everybody knows that you moved your money. So in 10 years, when this is going to be regulated, when the government is going to wise up to this, they can see that you sent $10,000 to this guy. So, do your own homework, make sure you stay within the legal boundaries, because it's not as you might think it is. This is not some hacker movie here.
No. Especially governments and people who are out for money, they will know how to get the money. Governments, to put it bluntly, are better than the mafia at dealing with such stuff, periods. And they make it legal, so yeah.
The States actually has pretty heavy regulations on cryptocurrency and taxes already. I mean, they didn't miss a beat. Them guys ain't sleeping. Just you don't know about it. Most people don't know that, in the United States, that tax situation is highly regulated. I don't know about Europe. I haven't paid attention, closely. I do know that Germany does pay attention to capital gains on cryptocurrency, but, I'm a hodler for the most part. I do some trading, but even when I trade, as long as you don't spend that within that 12-month period, you're good. There was something else I wanted to add here. Yes, there is technology that is currently under development and is being tested that basically traces back your wallet address to exchanges. And unless you go peer to peer and find a way to like spend your cryptocurrency, like Alex has a yacht I want to buy, and I send him the cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? And I don't go over an exchange, cash in the crypto, and then turn it into $1 million and then go buy a boat. If I buy it directly from someone with cryptocurrency, really you're going through an exchange. They're going to find out who you are, and they're making technology that can trace that back and show all of your transactions because it is 100% traceable. That's the point of the blockchain, that it is transparent, it's open, and you can seriously bang yourself trying to play slick with Uncle Sam. Ron Paul has a plaque on his desk. He says, "Don't steal. The government doesn't like competition. They will come for you." So just
the worst part is you don't even find out now so that you can stop and do your 1 or 2 years in prison. You find out 10 years in when you're gonna get the huge prison term.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I say if you deal with crypto, do everything on chain. I'm going to refer to an event which happened last year, July 2020, with the supposed Twitter hack. The reason the hacker or the guys were being caught wasn't so much because of a flaw with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. No, the poor dude will try to cash in through an exchange. And since blockchain is as transparent, you can trace all transactions. You can easily see, there's an account even on Twitter called Whale Movements. They track all wave movements, and sometimes they give additional information like, that amount of Bitcoin from, for example, Grayscale hack has been moved from that wallet to that wallet. Yeah, it's available for everyone. And we only know it because, well, it was a big hack and the funds are traceable. But you can also do it with much smaller amounts. So as long as you stay on chain, you remain anonymous. Go towards an exchange, the exchange has your ID. They can pin your ID and retrace it towards, well, they must comply with local governments, so they will hand over the information.
If they want to stay in business.
Yeah,
That's
and
why Bitcoin ATMs are so cool.
yeah, basically, yeah. And it's one of the reasons decentralized exchanges, especially in countries like I was going to say India, but I heard they are overturning that decision once again. We're actually very eager to jump onto decentralized exchanges. By reason everything remains on chain, and you're not passing through, well, a central exchange like Coinbase or Kraken, who have a claim to your identity. So yeah, that's basically it. And well, by going to a central exchange was how the hackers from the Twitter hack in July 2020 were caught, because it was really a question of, let us trace how the funds are moving. And well, the hackers were quite eager to cash in, so they could immediately follow, like, oh yeah, he's got 5 wallets, 7 there, okay, all comes back to a central one, and that central one is one on an exchange. So our good friends from the CIA or FBI, don't know whom, knock knock, that wallet address on your site, which ID is pinned to it, yeah, that guy, okay, we're going to pay him a visit. And yeah, case over.
That's it.
Yeah. If you want absolute privacy, then you're gonna have to use a coin. You're gonna have to use a privacy coin, Zcash, XMR, Monero, these things. But the governments are going after those. Governments be trying to get those guys.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do some homework on Monero and these privacy coins. I'd like to know more about them if you guys would want to talk about it. I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that wants to know too.
Well, we can do a show on it. I mean, we're already 7 minutes from closing on this one, so we could do a show on privacy coins. There's quite a few privacy coins out there, but they get a lot of hate. If you ever see a government take down a privacy coin, then they're really going to be gunning for primary coins in terms of their authority and their power.
Mm-hmm.
And
do they get hate from people? Do they get hate from people or from the governments?
Governments are saying they're using these privacy coins. It's the same thing they said 5 years ago, 7 years ago about Bitcoin. It's only used for drug dealers and laundering cash and buying rocket launchers and nuclear material. And so now they're saying that since governments are like, well, okay, fine.
You want to get in on it?
Bitcoin.
But the question is, could these privacy coins actually be used safely for such purchases?
Yes, absolutely.
And nobody would know.
Correct.
They can see that you put if you take, let's say you're a trader now, and then you took all of your Bitcoin and moved it into XMR. They would see that it went into XMR. After that, it's disappeared. To them now, it's like, okay, we know you had all that money. You paid all the taxes. What are you doing with that money now? We want to see. And you're just like, no. They can't do anything.
That's basically a privacy coin, so yeah, they're great, but yeah.
Making millions behind our back somehow. And that's why they hate it, because they can't see what's going on.
Yeah, governments will be warming up to it like they did with Bitcoin. By reason, they know the strength of a privacy coin. And believe me, governments aren't the saints which they are. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it is renowned that any government does a certain amount of, I'm not going to say fraud, but little bit monetary payments behind the back that the public shouldn't really know about, to put it not so bluntly. So yeah, if any government does it, if it is to protect a politician or to protect its public that it deems necessary to do so. And well, I see these kind of regulations when it concerns privacy coins and their first attitude when it concerns Bitcoin as something prudent. They want to test the waters and they want to push the envelope a little bit just to see what it is capable of before getting more and more into it. Have the necessary discussions in the back doors, behind closed doors, just to prepare themselves for mass implementation. There's a reason why governments, when they adapt something, it suddenly becomes very quickly ingrained and efficient as it is. Government probably was somewhere involved at a certain period of time since the launch of Bitcoin, but never made it official, and probably has some files on it for future use, and probably is ingrained in a certain amount of programs somewhere. You shouldn't be surprised about that. It's just the nature of the beast, I'm going to say. It's how it is. That's quite a dark note to end on, I know.
We are 3 minutes to close. Anything anybody want to throw up inside here? If you guys got questions, the last 3 minutes to ask those questions. Anything else we didn't cover that we can cover in 3 minutes?
If they're going to pose yes or no questions, it will be easy. Yes, no, maybe.
Oh man, I messed up that last message. Oh well, guys. Well, I got something. I'm gonna post this link here, right here. This tweet. Go over there and just hit like on that tweet. You ain't gotta do nothing else. Put a like on that tweet for a guy. I buy gold shell miners. I told you guys about this. I mine HNS. That's Handshake. I'm not saying go out buy it, whatever else. You know, it's a coin. It's a low cap coin. It's like around 30 cents. It's not something worth investing in. I just believe in the functionality of HNS, which is blockchain domains. They're unblockable, uncancelable. You become uncancelable on the internet in the same way that basically LBC does. And so I use those coins. I don't cash them in. I use those coins to actually support my business. And the producer of those ASICs, for anybody who's a customer of theirs, they are giving away their first edition prototype LBC miners. And so they're going to give 5 LBC miners away to guys who have the most likes. So far, I'm leading in the likes. I'd like to keep it that way resoundingly. So do me a favor, go over to that tweet right there, bink, and just put a like on it to make sure that I get it. I'm gonna be back here with the rest of my ASICs miners mining that LBC. They already gave. Hey, LBC, I'm doing well on. LBC gave me they airdropped me what was it? It was like $130 worth of freaking LBC. I love those dudes, man. It was great.
If you manage to win the miner, make a review on AlphaNerd or something. I'm quite curious about it.
I can do that. It's a mini miner. I've got two HNS mini miners. I got two large ASICs miners for HNS. So, yeah, I can do that. Sure, why not? To guys who are members, that is the top tier members. I've only got 2 tiers of my YouTube membership. I got the $199 option. That's the chat. You guys got those, stickers and all that other stuff inside there. And you guys get some of those messages that I put in the backside of the game that nobody else sees, because you got the YouTube posts. Then you guys, see what I put up there. And the guys who are on the $4.99 tier, I have been talking about a cryptocurrency that has recently come out. It's doing quite well. And I will be posting how you can get one of those miners for free and start mining. And anybody who's paid attention to this, anybody who's been paying attention to the $4.99, Super Secret Squirrel Club, that that coin is doing very well. Mining it does very well. We were just showing how like some people are making like, what was it? It was 111 coins. I have to do the math. It's something around like 360 euros a day. And in bad regions, dudes are doing like 50 euros a day with these miners. So yeah. Alex knows what's up. So I've actually got the tip for you guys how to get a free one. It's not a secret, but if you don't know, you don't know. And so I'll make sure my people who take care of me, I take care of you. I'm going to make you more money than you spend on me. That's what Abuamerican does, baby. No, I'm just playing. So yeah, get over there and subscribe, and you'll get them tips, you get them secrets. I'm going to try and get that video out to you guys like today or tomorrow, inshallah. My YouTube manager, if you guys haven't noticed, has been going crazy, just dropping videos, edits, cuts, this, that, the other. And it's on fire. So
I noticed it on Liberty TV. Yeah,
lighten it up. So we're picking up the pace here, guys. Alex, you want to drop something? Go ahead and drop your whatchamacallit. Drop your site
platform. Yeah,
man. Let's drop blockchain creators right here. Boom. That's not a link though.
Oh, you can drop a link.
Let's redrop it.
Yeah, blockchaincreators.com.
Yep, that's it. Pretty good name. We were actually going for crypto creators, but it was like $3,000. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. So we settled for blockchain creators.
Good one. If you guys are looking to like, if you have an online course, material, whatever else, a product, a digital product, instructionals, anything like this, digital content that can be sold on Gumroad, like I do t-shirts. I don't know if you have t-shirt capability or whatever else, but if you have some sort of digital product that can be sold, you can put it on his site, get paid in crypto. Why wouldn't you do it?
That was
why not? Especially if you're coming from Gumroad, as I said, it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, I need to get that shirt. I think I'm gonna order it like right now once we get off air. Dimitri, you got something?
Not much going on at the moment. I've got a new poll open for my crypto bull between 3 projects: Hibara, Torchain, and VChain. People can vote which project I will be analyzing this Wednesday live stream. Also going to say to the viewers, don't post articles about those projects. I prefer to dive in without knowing anything about it. I noticed this last time with Nano I did. Quite a few people were already removing the curtains from me for exploration. I was like, yeah, but it's more fun to do so from not. So yeah.
All right. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Next episode, next week, same time. We're going to try and be on earlier, but the weather's getting nice. And then, like, on weekends, man, I just go out and I drive people. I hit the road and I get out there. So we'll see what we can do to try and keep it as early as possible because we got multiple people here on the panel. But I like to be out in the sunlight. It's been winter and I'm black. So, I need my sun. We'll see you next week on Sunday. Hopefully, same time, guys. We're out.